camera today, which is unusual, but this video is all about the second annual Layton's Legacy Card Drive and Fundraiser, and I just wanted to give a little bit of info about this fundraising effort and a little bit about the month of October. So I chose October to do Layton's Legacy this year because it is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month. And this is, of course, it's a big deal to me because if you don't know, we lost our daughter Ellie in July of 2015. She was stillborn after not being able to survive premature birth. And then the next year, our son Layton was born prematurely on June 9th. And he also had two pretty serious medical conditions. And he lived for 5 months in the NICU at U of M Children's Hospital before passing away. And that sweet little boy, he fought for every single moment of his life. And so October, of course, is important to me because pregnancy and infant loss awareness is important to me too. 1 in 4 people suffer from infertility, miscarriages, multiple miscarriages, stillbirth, infant loss, and so on. So if you look around you and you look at your family and you look at your friends list and you look at people you follow on Instagram or YouTube, 25% of our population deals with this. So there's likely someone you know that is suffering through pregnancy and infant loss, and they may be doing it silently. So it's important, I just feel like it's important for people to know that it's okay to talk about your lost little ones, and to show people that maybe haven't gone through it, that to let them know that babies that are lost are no less loved and they were no less wanted than babies that are alive. And so it's an important month for people to be able to speak up and remember their little ones. But the thing is people should be able to do that all year round. So I'm going to segue into Layton's Legacy. What my goal for the fundraising effort, the fundraising side of Layton's Legacy is I have a goal of $2,500. And what I do with that is there are 50 beds in the level 4 NICU that Layton lived his entire life. And I like to purchase $50 Starbucks gift cards for every single bed. And the reason why I choose Starbucks is because there is one right across the street. And it just allows you to take a break, go get a nice warm beverage or cold, whichever you prefer, and just, maybe take a breather. Some days in the NICU are really, really hard. Every day is hard, but some days are considerably harder than the others. And I know on a hard day, a social worker came into Layton's nursery and handed me a card, and inside of it was a $20 Starbucks gift card. And it just felt really good to know that people understood how hard it is to be a parent of a critically ill baby, and how hard NICU life is. So in the Layton's honor and in Layton's memory, I love to be able to give back, and this is one way that I can do it. If I raise in excess of the $2,500 needed for those gift cards, the plan this year is to give that to the Upper Midwest Ronald McDonald House. That is where Josh, my husband, and I lived for Layton's entire life. And they provided us, food and dinners and, a place to stay that we didn't have to worry about rent or anything like that. There was a shuttle that shuttled me back and forth to the hospital every single day. And they also provide fun events, sporting tickets, and they sent us on a date night with car service and basically anything we wanted for dinner. So I say that just because, if I do raise in excess of my goal, it's nice to be able to pay that forward to something that gave so much to us. And I am able to donate that. I will donate in both Ellie and Layton's names. And so that is Layton's Legacy, you guys. There are many companies that are supporting me in this endeavor. We've got giveaways going on for both donations, and if you link up a card for the card drive. The card drive this year is based around sensitive sympathy. And because I have plenty of cards to give with the Starbucks cards this year, I have another little personal project that I'm doing, and so some sensitive sympathy cards would be fantastic. Many companies are supporting this. I couldn't do this without them and without this community rallying behind me and really lifting me up and letting me be able to keep Ellie and Layton and keep their memories alive and talk about them. It's really wonderful to have such a supportive community. There is a really special stamp set that we are releasing at Pinkfresh Studio called Forever in Our Hearts. I came to Kinnery, the owner of Pinkfresh, earlier this summer and asked if she would be willing to bring this stamp set to life that I was super passionate about and really wanted to have out there. And so this is a sensitive sympathy stamp set. And while there are definitely a lot of sentiments that are geared towards losing babies and pregnancies and little ones, we made sure to also include sentiments that you can use for really any type of loss or if any type of condolence and sympathy card. So this is available in the Pinkfresh Studio shop today, along with the coordinating die for the butterfly. $5 from every stamp set will be donated to Layton's Legacy, and $3 from every die will be donated. So this is if you don't have a really great sympathy set geared towards sensitive sympathy and geared towards baby and child and pregnancy loss, this is a really great one, and I would love for you to pick it up. I did not illustrate it, but it is, it was my thoughts and everything coming together on a stamp set. So I'm really proud of it. And so the rest of this video is going to be geared towards some cards that I made with this stamp set. So we will flip it around and get going on that. But thank you for listening to all of this, and thank you for supporting me in my Layton's Legacy card drive and fundraising efforts. Forever in Our Hearts is basically my heart in photopolymer form, and it benefits this cutie. This is Layton. This is the little guy that this entire day is about. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to get right into my cards. So to start, I'm keeping these cards relatively simple, and I am going to let this beautiful, delicate butterfly take center stage. And I will be heat embossing it to vellum in my favorite gold embossing powder called Gilded, which is by Brutus Monroe. So I want to give you a little bit of reasoning behind why including a butterfly in this stamp set was so important to me. So when you have a loss at the hospital, they will typically put a butterfly on the number plate on your door. And this just signifies to staff members to, avoid going into the room if they can, but if for some reason they absolutely have to, just to be quick and to be quiet. And also, if you think about a butterfly's life cycle, it's a really beautiful illustration of the life of a baby, and it's a beautiful illustration of the loss of a baby as well. So it was really important that this image was put into the set, and our illustrator, Ina, she brought it to life in the most beautiful way. So this is what it looks like, gold heat embossed, and I'm just so excited about how it turned out. Off camera, I went ahead and die cut it with the coordinating die, and then I also die cut this 6x6 paper from our Just a Little Lovely collection with our Essentials stitched rectangle. So now I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video and do a little bit of ink blending for one of the cards. I am using our brand new premium dye inks that we just released. We have released 48 colors and 12 color families. And inside of those color families, there are 4 shades that range from light to more vibrant to dark. So I am using what would be considered probably the lightest in most color families, the pastel version of each color. And I am ink blending in rainbow order. So there is the term rainbow baby, which is often used when someone has a baby after loss. And that is, fine and dandy. But I look at a rainbow and I think more about God's promise, and I just think about the
the beauty that our lost little ones are seeing, in the heavenly realm, this beauty that we aren't able to see yet. And so using a rainbow for lost cards just also seemed really fitting to me as well. So I went ahead and used some tailored expressions, cloud stencils, which these are my favorite cloud stencils. I love that they come in the strips, and I love the different options and that you can flip them over to get different angles. And it's just a really great stencil. And so I'm coming to the end of my ink blending, and I've just got that soft, beautiful rainbow ink blending. So off camera, I decided that I wanted to do the inlaid die cut technique with the pattern paper block. So I went ahead and die cut that off camera. And now I am just stamping the sentiments. I am using Onyx Black VersaFine ink to stamp these sentiments because it just gives you a really crisp impression, and these sentiments are really delicate and really dainty, and I wanted to make sure that they stayed nice and crisp. So it's really a perfect ink for stamping a sentiment like this. Off camera, I also die cut the ink blended panel with our diagonal stitched rectangles, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment to the bottom of this one in that same Onyx Black VersaFine ink. Previously, this stamp set is really based on sensitive sympathy, and so we've included a lot of sentiments that are just really honest and heartfelt and don't feel as insensitive as some of the more generic condolences and deepest sympathy. So you're going to see a lot of things like, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry for your loss, my heart just hurts for you, and things like that. I really am so excited about how all of the sentiments turned out in this set. And as I mentioned, there are many, or are some geared towards pregnancy and infant loss, but many can be used for, really any type of loss. And they're just a little bit more sensitive and a little bit more honest. So at this point, it's just time to start putting the cards together. I layered foam tape to the back of that die cut rainbow paper and adhered it to the front of a white card base. And now I am just taking some mixed media adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere that butterfly inside of the die cut area. So it probably would have been easier if I would have penciled in a line and actually adhered down the butterfly first, but I didn't do that this way. And so I just wanted to show this process because you can do it this way. I probably made it harder on myself than I needed to, but it just takes a little bit of time and patience, and you can get that guy in there. But I might suggest putting the butterfly down first before the pattern paper next time. So if you want to recreate a card like this, that just might be a better decision. But it does look really beautiful. And so for this card, I have already adhered an entire panel of foam adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to a white card base as well. So I used to use score tape on the back, but I started realizing that my card panels were crooked. So I started using a nice liquid multimedia adhesive. This just gives me some time to make sure that I've got the panel on there nice and straight, and it will still dry really with a really good permanent bond. But it just gives you a little bit of time to move that panel around and make sure you're getting it on there nice and straight. So I'm going to go ahead and put the second butterfly onto this panel. I'm popping just the top up with some foam dots, and then adhering just the little bottom portion down with a glue dot. That is ample amount of adhesive for how dainty and delicate this die is. So off camera, I went ahead and I added some jewels from our Essentials Jewel Mix as accents, and I stamped the insides. The other great thing about this stamp set is many of the sentiments can be used both on the outside of the card and on the inside. And I could not bear to throw away or that die cut butterfly from the pattern paper. So I went ahead and stamped and heat embossed the butterfly to it and just made a quick little card with some gold splatter. So those are my cards for you today for Layton's Legacy. I will have all of the information you need in the video description for the fundraiser, for just more information about Layton, and also for the card drive. These wonderful sponsors have helped my fundraising efforts for Layton's Legacy, and I am so thankful. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful day.